The leather for batam gasais comes from the neck and head of the animal. Each bull is enough to produce 1 shalrosh and 2 shalyads. Occasionally, there is enough leather to produce 2 shalroshes and 1 shalyad. Since the shalrosh has to be folded and formed into 4 separate compartments, some of the thickness of the leather is shaved off. This is done on a special splitting machine. The indentations are enlarged and deepened in the press.
כל אחד יש לו את המידה שלו. רק לאט שהוא יוכל... זה בסדר, לא מדהים. לא יקרא אותו,
Pieces of metal cut to size are placed inside the indentations in order to preserve the hollow space into which the parshias will eventually be placed. 12 holes are now drilled through the tetura to accommodate the tfiras, the stitches. The holes are spaced so that there are 4 on each side of the tefillin, resulting in 3 stitches on each side. Altogether, there are 12 stitches. This corresponds to the 12 shvatim of Bnei Yisrael, who surrounded the Mishkan in the Midbar, 3 shvatim on each side. The sheet of cloth, which we are going to be mesarted, is placed upon the table. The inside, where the writing will be done, is face up. The sirtut is scored into this side of the cloth. The worker shows us how this piece of cloth was produced from a shlil. The entire animal was no bigger than from one end of the cloth to the other. Down the center, we can still notice the mark of the spine. The neck and head were on this end, the tail on the other. On the outside, we see areas of black and white, which remain from the coloring of the hairs which were once here. Here we see cloth from which the outside layer, called litza in Lashon Kodesh, has been scraped off. The other side of this piece of cloth does not have this layer removed. Some poskim pastel cloth from which this outside layer was scraped off. As we've explained before, the cloth has 2 sides, the hairy outside and the inside which was connected to the flesh. We write on the inside. Once, the cloth would be split into 2. The outside layer was the cloth, the inside layer was duchsustus. Today, the duchsustus is totally scraped away and is not used for anything. Let's watch how the sirtut is done. The amount of lines and the distance between them is entered into the computer. The piece of cloth is placed on the table. Here we see the sirtut being prepared for a 6-inch mezuzah. The cloth is taped onto the table to keep it from moving. The person doing the sirtut states that he is doing the sirtut l'shem kedushas sefer Torah, mezuzah, or tefillin, or megillah. The computer controls the ruler and moves it to the proper position. The person then scores the sirtut along the ruler by hand. Line after line is scored into the cloth. When the proper amount of lines has been reached,